money roll, yeah, I'm looking at the bank, say miss, I do not want to jail, yeah, nuts with my gang, you be just a stain, cover on my chain.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you guys are having a great day as usual. So for this video, guys, I'm going to be reacting to another clip from Billy Connolly, and the clip that I'm reacting to is an audience with Billy Connolly. Now guys, this is an hour-long special, so I'm going to break it up into two halves. So let's jump right into the first half, and then we'll get to the second half later. Let's go! Legend.
So tonight, if you suck, they come in. I always wanted one of them. My manager promised years ago, he said, do it right, Bill, and you can have your name in pink. Who did that? It's decidedly average to be here. It's kind of live and telly, isn't it? And I've never seen so many famous people in my whole life. It's great. It's like a party at our house. I love it. I start very slow. I start real slow. And because I think you're the same yourself, you know, when you go to your work, not you people at the front, the working class at the back. The ones they talk about in those political programmes as the ordinary people. All you ordinary people up there. Well, when you go to your work in the morning, like 8 o'clock or whenever you start, you don't sort of go 8 o'clock and into it. You sort of relax and scratch your arse and read the paper and look out the window. Well, this is me at my work. This is me, I'm doing it. I'm not on a yop scheme. This is what I do. And it's awful. Every time I open my eyes, I'm looking at one of my heroes. It's like a nightmare. I did this once before, you know. It was in the year that Scotland qualified to play in Germany. You know, Scotland always qualify. You have to think of the year. I think it was 74 or something. They were playing in Germany, and the guy who was supposed to make money for them kind of ripped them off. The Scottish football team, that is. And they ended up by being given a sort of a 6-month loan of a Vauxhall. Jet set stuff, isn't it? Loan of Vauxhall for 6 months. So, Willie Ormond, who was the manager, asked me to go down and entertain the team, and it was hellish. It was just this room full of Dennis Laws and Billy Bremners. I did the whole thing with my eyes shut. I opened my eyes. God, it was the best laxative I've ever known. So I was going to tell you a bit about myself. You probably know a lot because I've kind of become the darling of the chat shows. But I should tell you I lie a lot. So some of it wasn't true. I've made myself very windswept and interesting as the years have rolled on. Because I was born a sort of fart. I've tried everything to be exotic. You know, and I've fought being plain all my life, but it keeps coming back. I always look... When I buy something expensive, I look as if I stole it, you know? That's what I look about me. You know, people give me presents, you know? Like Cartier glasses, and the police go, where'd you get in? And they stole them out of a car. So it's weird, you know, I've got this mark on me that says nothing. And I don't know where it is. God knows I've tried everything. But I was born in Anderson in Glasgow, and it's sort of down at the dockside there. And I don't remember it much because we left when I was about 3 or 4, and I was brought up in Partick in Glasgow, where Partick Thistle originally came from, the football team, Partick Thistle FC. I say that because most Englishmen think they're called Partick Thistle Nil, right?
go.
And they're always good for a laugh, you know, Partick Thistle.
Man.
And, yeah, what can I say? I was brought up as a Catholic in Partick, and it was okay. I got A-level guilt, you know. Every time I interfere with myself, I think I'm going to hell. Yeah, it was an okay education for everybody else. I think I spent most of the times watching pigeons screwing in the reef. That was it. That was the education. But I was very lucky because there was full employment on the Clyde, you know, and that was the way of Glasgow then. The shipyards, the schools opened their doors and the shipyards opened theirs and everybody poured in. And I became a welder. I was actually becoming an engineer and joined the wrong queue. And it's the truth. Because everybody had jobs, go like, engineers this way, Mr. Hughes, and I joined the wrong line and became a welder. And I started being an apprentice welder without even knowing what a welder was. I didn't know what you pressed to make it work, for Christ's sake. The stuff. That was it, and I joined the Territorial Army to make myself a bit more exotic. I did. It was the parachute regiment. And I got my red beret, and I looked like acne. I had my uniform, and I got my wings and everything. And we did an exercise once. It was a complete and utter waste of time, as the entire Territorial Army is. We did an exercise. It's a dreadful waste of time and money. I swear, I mean, we did an exercise in Cyprus. All us paratroopers in the Carigna Mountains with my gun. And we chased, the parachute regiment chased the Green Howards through the mountains for 10 days, and we caught one. There was thousands of us, armed to the teeth, bayonets down the trousers, and it was great. They'll pose it. Everybody looked like Rambo, Clay. At last, I'd become exotic. They caught this poor bastard. And he worked in the same shipyard as me. He was a territorial too. It was great. I could have sneaked up behind him in the canteen and saved the country a fortune. And to give you, for those of you who don't know what I do, that must include me, really. I've never really understood what I do. But I've been intrigued for many, many years, since I was a wee boy, with the way ordinary people behave. And I've often looked at people and thought, my God, because I've been kind of obsessed with sex as well. And see, it took me an extraordinary length of time to lose my virginity. Oh, God almighty, it was ages. I won't even tell you, because you'll talk about me. It was a long time. I was tattooed first. I mean, it was so long. I had to do it eventually for the sake of my sight. I had to purely for reasons of, visibility. I was going mental. I was becoming a funny shit. No, really. And I seem to see things that people don't just take. I was in Los Angeles, and this is the truth. There was a sign, and it said, "To the Braille School." I thought, who is it for? And I thought, why don't they do all road signs in Braille? People stop and go like that. And it's odd, I must say. But there's something about I don't understand very much. I'm not saying love me, I'm thick, right? But there's a lot of things that my brain won't allow me to understand. You know, because they're so incredibly boring. And God knows I've tried. Especially with politics, and you get 2 pages, you go, oh, bollocks, who cares? Who cares? I mean, that's how I've become a kind of anarchist, you know. I think, roughly, the desire to be a politician should bar you for life from ever being one. Just watching them, don't vote, it encourages them. Just watch them, God. I mean, isn't that awful? But anyhow, I tend to look at it slightly different. And I look at singers on the telly, and I look at Scottish singers, and I think, what are you doing? And you see, and I'm a Scottish person, right? You probably noticed. And I look at these Scots on telly, they're sort of singing shortbread tins. It's the whole nation. They're singing about this garbage. Oh, the mountains over here and hills over there. Salmon's in the river and I'm roaming in the gloaming. Bonny purple mountains and the sun is going off. Fuck off! I don't even begin to understand that. Because the folk music is actually wonderful, the real, but they avoid that like the plague in order to sing this stuff. And it's all written here in London. With strange wee men who have never seen Scotland. And one of them got found out about 5 years ago. He wrote a song called The Blue Misty Hills of Tiree. But if you've ever been in Tiree, it's like a bloody billiard table. Oh, the misty blue hills. Oh, and there's this never-ending line of Highland weird people. I mean, I'm not saying the Highland people are an amazing race of people, lyrical, nice people. But there's a section who keep turning up on television in Scotland. The Brine Island shirt and a space in the teeth. And the wee badger handbag there. Mountains and rivers and Bonnie Morag and the Roman and the Gloaming. And it's a very strange affair. And then there's the Gaelic ones. You've probably seen them. They say hello to you all the time when they're singing. Hello, hey, oh. This is a song they do when they're mashing up the Harris tweed to send it off, and they say, why are you wearing a Brine Island shirt? It's absolute nonsense. And we seem to produce in Scotland a kind of religion that's very strange too. It's the most patronising thing in television except for the weather. It's Wincy Willis here. Yeah, hey, Wincy Poo. I was just thinking, your television treat you like you're 4 years of age. Now, here's the weather. This is the country where you live. And this is a wee cloud. You probably don't. I really feel brassed off when they do that. They stick clouds and lightning on the board. You don't need to do that! I know what a cloud looks like! Just tell me, I'll understand! You have to behave yourself. I can't get it. But anyway, I was saying, that kind of singing, you know, the women sing kind of weird up there. They've spoiled a lot of great songs. You know, Robert Burns wrote some real crackers. And they spoil them with that strained way of singing. Because ordinary people sing okay. Not really. And the whole thing is organised by people who've got second names instead of first names. Crawford. Crawford, have you seen Finlay? Who are these people? They're alien. The surname clan have taken over. Campbell, have you seen Finlay? He was with Crawford and Torquay. Talking about. And the women dancers are great, you know, they're all giving it a bit of that. And it's fabulous. Winsome and buxom, and the men are getting a bit right on the loafers. For me, it's a bit strange. It's a bit like ballroom dancing's getting the same. Like people doing that. What are you doing? If you did that in a Glasgow dance hall, you'd last about 10 minutes. An elastic suit or that, no? What's that? And what's the paso doble? Nobody actually does the paso doble except them. And drunk people on holiday in Spain. So, and then religion, as I was telling you. Now, religion's a real growth industry in Scotland. The BBC religious department's got 14 offices. What do they do all day? You can't hear the typewriters for the rattling of the rosaries up there. So it's very odd. And they've got this never-ending procession of wee men who come on at night and tell you how dreadful the world is. And then in the most patronising possible way, try to introduce you to God. Now, if there's a God, and I suppose there is, really, because I've always thought, if you believe in God, if anybody believes in God, there is one, you know, and it's not up for question. But these wee men come on and try and tell you, and the ones on England and the Radio 4 in the morning aren't any better. They seem to have this never-ending line of people called Nigel. They tell you all about God in this strange fashion. Yes, I went to a football match the other day. And you know is the key, right? You know. I went to a football match the other day and it was terribly exciting. I watched with bated breath. It was Tottenham Hotspur, I believe. They were playing another bunch of chaps. They were very, very good anyway, but the game was rather exciting. And on the way home, I said to my son, Nigel Jr., I said... Nigel? He said, yes, Daddy. Did you enjoy the game, Nigel? Oh, yes, Father. It was super and terribly exciting. Is that all, Nigel? Well, yes, Daddy. But, Nigel, didn't you attempt to think of it on a more spiritual plane? Did Jesus play for Tottenham Hotspur, Daddy? And, you know, in a funny way, he did. And the other bit about my life before I got here, to this stage, you know, to this part of my life, and I used to be a folk singer, but I was dreadful. I had a voice like a goose farting in the fog. And it doesn't make you attractive to women at all. Funny enough, I was talking to Robbie Coltrane about this a wee while ago. We did a programme recently, me and Mr. Coltrane, and we were talking about the way real people, you know what I was talking about, all that, and the way real people, so I used to go to parties,
pretty good. He's not bad.
Hide still. I still fall in love.
Not bad at all. Talent.
Yourself, big man. Shut up. See, now I loved that. I used to go to parties and listen to these men singing. For years, I didn't know it was English. I thought it was some weird Scottish language. I went round the music shops of Glasgow trying to find the words. See, well, how does it go? See, well, it's it goes head of hall. Eddie Sheedy Ball. No, I don't know that one. And they weren't like London kind of showbiz parties. You get a huge carry-out first, you get a dozen beers and a half bottle of whiskey. Right, so you better get some Bacardi, there might be women there. Okay. And then with this carry-out bag, you've seen these carry-out bags. I know they're sort of, well, I don't know if they've got them in England now. They certainly didn't. They used to have them. It's a carrier bag with a brewery on the side there. And off you go, looking for a party. I mean, you haven't been invited anywhere. You don't get invited. They sort of happen. So you get the bag and then you go along these tenement streets listening. And then from a window you hear, Harry Paul. I'll do the big one. Easy, up we go. And then when you get there, if this ever happens to you, just tell them Jimmy said it was okay. There's always a Jimmy in the room. I met a guy doing the boozer there. Jimmy says just to come right up. What do you look like? Oh, he was a bit pissed, you know. That'll be him. There's somebody upside down behind the telly. That's the man, the very man. Sit down, son. Give us a song. Harry Wall. And there's another thing about Scotsmen. They always sing about being far away from Scotland when they're still there. Though I'm far across the sea. No, you're not. You shut your face. It's the only song your father knows right through. Be quiet. I'm very far away. And of course, everybody likes to sing. And sometimes they spin a bottle. And when it points at you, it's your turn, and you have to do a thing, you know. And if you only know the one song, well, somebody might sing it before you. And that's you have to leave, go home. That's it, I'm off. So, yeah, it's happened to me. I used to be the wild side of life. Oh, the wild side of life. And it's the way I yelled, and went back to the way who said alive. What's the one? Do you know what a who is? A who. That's what the old rugged cross stands on. Hey, far away on a hill. And the priest used the priest used to come round visiting the houses, you know, to see how everybody was doing. And they were always wee lonely men. They always looked cold, priests. They were never clean, you know. Cold-looking men. They'd come creeping about and say, here's a priest coming. Put that television off. Right, get to your rooms. Come on, hurry up, get to your rooms. The priest's coming up the bloody stairs. Get to And now, see, priests think the world is full of broken televisions. Everywhere they go, it's not working. See, a guy once told me the Queen thinks the world smells like paint, because 10 feet in front of her, there's always a guy giving it. And as I say, I lived in the tenements there, and there was a warmth about the whole thing. I've always seen tenements as kind of vertical villages. People say, oh, the deprivation! Oh, my... Nonsense. When you're a wee boy, it's not like that. You know, it felt great. You know, there's all these nice neighbours and they had big wooden toilet seats then. You know, luxuries. You know, you didn't lose the power of your legs reading the Sunday paper. Yeah. You know, maybe it's my age. I can't walk halfway through. The needles can't get out of the damn thing. It's a point for you. Oh, my God.
Alright guys, great stuff there by Billy Connolly. I feel like this is Billy Connolly in his prime, at his best. This is great. The special seems so promising. Can't wait for part 2, so join me in part 2 right now, guys. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up, so take care of yourself, stay safe, because it is a crazy world out there, and there are a lot of crazy people. But most importantly, guys, peace.